What's going on, people? Welcome back to Nick J. Francis' channel. Once again, I am out here in sunny, beautiful Portugal. Watched the game earlier with the man them. Just got back to the hotel. It's been a busy day and obviously had to come and shoot this video because I was out watching with a bunch of Man United fans, notably Ransom Bance, and he was very angry after the game, as you can imagine, and felt that a draw was probably a fair result and we nicked it. And I slightly disagree, but I understand where he's coming from. We have been playing so poorly, and I just want to get the negatives out of the way. I don't want to be a negative Arsenal fan, but any negatives, let's get them out of the way. Kai Havertz is not working well in the system, and I do think that it was a bit of a dive when he went down for the penalty. And listen, we won 3-1. You know, that's great. That's huge for us. And the positive is that we're not playing great football, but we are getting through results, even against Big Six clubs, which is huge. When I saw him go down for the penalty, I was annoyed. I thought he could go through and shoot. But to me, there was a bigger problem, and that is not a bigger problem, but a different type of problem, where Kai seems to lack confidence at this moment in time, which is actually potentially a positive, because it means he's not just a trash player. He's not trash, but the confidence isn't there. And actually, if we can get him confident, that's huge. And to get him confident, I think he needs some easy wins, and I think he gets those easy wins off the bench. And then onto the big positive, Fabio Vieira, again, coming off the bench and having such a big impact. That's twice that we've subbed off Kai Havertz, brought Fabio Vieira on, and he's made an instant impact, very similar to what Reiss Nelson was doing last season. And again, it's great to see the whole squad chipping in. United did what they do, held the ball at the back really well, roped us in, and they were really mature in knowing when to counter. As soon as we pushed up a little bit, we slightly overcommitted, they pressed on that straight away. So they were really good at that, but we were resilient, we stuck in it. That goal from Odegaard to get us back into it. I mean, he's the captain for a reason. He really does lead by example. He doesn't run around the pitch charging around and making noise and screaming at people. He's a different type of captain. He's such a mature captain. And it was such a well-taken goal, the little flick. Great to see Zinchenko and Gabriel back as well. Arteta has to unlearn, not try to tinker and evolve too much. We've gone back to what we were doing last season, and it's worked, and we've gone and got 3-1 against United. A bit scrappy, but listen, it is what it is. They scored, and it was ruled offside. It wasn't offside. I said in real time, it looked offside to me. We got away with one. But that's what we have to do. We have to stay in the pocket, as it were. We have to really keep pushing through, keep mature, and we can find a way. This team, it could be something really special. We've replaced Granit Xhaka with someone like Kai Havertz, who is technically maybe better, has more technical ability than Granit Xhaka, is faster and more mobile than Granit Xhaka, but actually lacks a lot of the intensity and leadership that we got from Granit Xhaka. We are really, really missing that leadership, and I think that money could have been better spent. But listen, the window's over. This is the first game. This is the team that we're going to have. And Reiss Nelson coming on, he looked lively again. He only came on for the 30 seconds and then the 8-9 minutes added time, but he looked just absolutely superb. Gabby Jesus, again, great to see him back. Immediately was just causing problems. And Nketiah was good at holding up the ball, but lacks that technicality. We already know that. Gabby Jesus comes on and already just starts pulling the defense around, really pushing and pulling them into different pockets of space. And that's what he's so good at. That's what he's there to do. Fabio Vieira, like we say, that natural attacking play, gets on the ball, one touch, bang, and Jesus is through for the third goal. And Declan Rice, I mean, man like Tekkland Rice, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He's off the mark with his first competitive goal for Arsenal. And what a goal it was. There's shouts about a foul. To me, personally, Gabriel and Evans are grabbing each other. I do think Gabriel initiates the fall that pulls Evans down, but they were grabbing each other. It was a 50-50 grab, and so who do you give the foul to? You could easily give the foul to Johnny Evans, you could give it to Gabriel. The ref lets it go, Declan Rice takes a shot, and that's what we want from him. It took a deflection, Onana is caught out. It's very unfortunate for Onana, outstanding goalkeeper. He was superb today. The goals that he conceded, really, he couldn't do a huge amount about, but That's what we want from Declan Rice. We want him in and around that 18-yard box, having shots. We've seen it against City. He was popping shots from distance. And, they weren't amazing shots, but we know the ability that he's got. And we have to give these midfielders license to have these shots. We're hearing that Thomas Partey could be out for another few months. This is exactly why I said I would maybe look to cash in on him. If there was a big money move there for him at this stage in his career, I would maybe explore that option, because ultimately it's the fitness, it's the reliability of his fitness, not technicality. Technically, he's so gifted, he's one of the best out there, but he's not fit. But we have Jorginho, we have Rice. It was great to see Jorginho running over and celebrating with Rice. He looks really, really engaged in the team. There were talks of him going. We're going to need him across this season as well. And everybody mucking in. I will say as well that if there is some way that we can get the Trossards and the Pepes, Trossard already, we know he'll feature, but Nicola Pepe, there's still a chance that he could go. I would really, really, really like to see him integrated into this team. The style of football that we play, I understood why the style of football we play is tailor-made to him. I understood why Arteta wanted him out when we were looking for players with great intensity, pressing, aggressive. Even though Nketiah is not technically the best, he presses everything. Odegaard the same. He's not the best at pressing. That's not his game. But my God, is he going to press and run around? And Nicola Pepe didn't give us that. But we've spent 65 million on Havertz, and Havertz doesn't give us that. He's swanning around as a bit of a luxury player. He was through the two defenders. He could have gone through and had a shot one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He decided to go down and try and go for the penalty. That is not the act of somebody who is a confident player. Either he's lacking confidence in that moment or he's lazy. And if it's laziness, that's a problem. And if we have Kai Havertz in this team with the kind of body language and attitude that he has, there is no reason we shouldn't also have Nicola Pepe in this team, because Nicola Pepe is has a similar body language, but can actually offer us more going forwards and can help us rotate with Bukayo Saka. A lot of us wanted another winger coming in to cover. We've got Martinelli, we've got Saka, and we've got Reece Nelson. But I think having one more, having Nicola Pepe back in the team and allowing Nelson to focus and hone his game on that left-hand side. Nelson's never had a dedicated position, but I think he looks a little bit sharper on the left. Allow him to blossom in that position, especially with Champions League games and Cup games coming up. The group is going to be pretty tough, but I think Reece Nelson and Nicola Pepe are both at that level. They are at the level of a Sevilla. They're at the level of the other teams. I can't remember who the other teams are, but the other teams that we've got, PSV Eindhoven, they're at that level. So there's no reason for them to not be involved. We can't say that Nicola Pepe is not at the level of Eindhoven and Sevilla. That's ludicrous. So I would like to see him integrated into the team. But listen, in terms of today, this is our first Big Six test in the league. We've won it. We've overcome it. We've got Tottenham in a couple of weeks. It's going to be tough. We need to keep winning games. It's so important. This was at home. Maybe that's why we were able to get over the line a little bit. A bit of a siege mentality. We have been poor at home. This hopefully will be the foundation for us to kick on. But lots of positives to take from that game, but a few negatives as well. A few things to build on. Arteta won't be completely happy again. It's come to injury time, and we've got the winner in injury time again. And conceded some chances late on as well. It could have easily been a draw. Easily. The second goal was contentious because of the Johnny Evans, Gabriel pull. But other than that, what a good goal. The corners were pretty poor and flat today. Gabby Martinelli was really poor, not beating the first man at all. There was a couple that we did short. I like the short corners. They looked like they were working. On another day, we could have been 2 or 3 up earlier. But listen, there's plenty for us to build on there, plenty. And ultimately, we've done one over on Manchester United. So no matter what they say about their manager and League Cup and whatever, it don't matter. They came to the Emirates and they lost again. 2 seasons on the bounce. I think more seasons on the bounce, actually, more than 2. But this one and the last one I remember perfectly clearly. And it's been tight both times, but we've been able to do it. And now we need to go to their ground and do the same, because that's what normally happens. We beat them at our ground, go to their ground and get turned over. But it's huge. We can, as a team and as a squad, we can take a huge amount of positivity and courage from this game and take it into our next game as well. If we can go and beat Man United, who came third last season, let's not forget, it was Manchester City, Arsenal, then Man United. So regardless of what you think of this team or what you think of their individual players, they are technically the 3rd best team in the country. So if we can beat them, we can be confident playing against most other teams and go and beat those guys as well. That would be my message going into the team. But you know, and I think Fabio Vieira deserves a start. I think giving Havertz the bench at this point actually protects him. Arteta has to drop his ego a little bit. I'm a big fan of Arteta. Everybody knows that, but he has to drop his ego, allow Havertz to come off the bench, and Fabio Vieira 2-3 times now has earned the right to start for me. So I need to be seeing this guy starting in that formation that we set out with today, but with Fabio Vieira in that 8, he deserves that start. You know, he's worked so hard for it, and you can see the confidence in the football that he's playing, and very driven, very determined. He's showing us a lot more than Havertz is at this moment in time. And then Havertz can come off the bench, you know, keep things tidy and do things late on, maybe give himself the opportunity to be the hero late on, and then work for that starting position again. But it does look like it's Arteta justifying the money that he spent on this signing, or it's something that he sees that nobody else sees. If it is the money and he's trying to justify that, he's got to let that go. He has to let that go, and we can't be, you know, starting players based on transfer value. That's not what we are. You know, that's what a Man United or a Chelsea is. You know, we don't play like that. We have to play the system and play the players, and Fabio Vieira deserves some minutes. But listen, that's all I've got time for now. I've got a flight in the morning, so I'll be back in the UK. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be seeing Shane in a couple of days, and we're going to be talking about the Smith Eubank fight and all that good stuff. More boxing, more football, more content coming to you guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Right now, love.